Welcome to the Breath of Fresh Eric and Jacob podcast.
Well worth the $40.
Yes. Yes, well worth the $40. That was a man from New Zealand.
Mm-hmm. We
doing our
followed
intro.
up.
Yeah.
Look at that. Turns out the website is called Fiverr, not Fiverr.
Yeah.
I caught some major heat for calling it Fiverr.
I thought it was Fiverr, but I didn't
No, I was in the wrong.
say anything.
Yeah.
Because we're friends.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh dear. His name was Alistair, I think. ALIST.
This guy?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
The official voice of the Breath of Fresh Air.
He does nothing else.
Yeah. Oh
is
wow,
all
it's
he's
them
known
again.
for.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So, huge shout out to him. Look him up on Fiverr. And he'll read stuff for you.
Yeah, for money.
Yeah.
You give him dollars.
So, Jacob, what are we talking about today?
Well, today, Eric, we're talking about film.
Yeah.
Filmy film, movies,
Are you a little under the weather
cinema.
this morning?
I'm way under the weather. The weather's below me. No, that's. Yeah, I feel horrendous, but
You sound great, though.
I'm on, I'm on lots of meds, so I'm just gonna trip farther and farther into this episode.
Continue.
Jacob's in the corner. I can't get him out. There was one thing before we get into film I wanted to bring up, and of course I can't find my notes, but in podcast news, because that's what we do now, Jenna Fisher and Angela Kinsey
Yes.
are doing an Office podcast.
Pam and Angela.
Pam and Angela are watching episodes of the podcast and just being like, oh, ha ha ha, remember that,
Yes.
filming that episode? I'm like, that's so genius.
Yeah, what a great
That's
idea.
so smart.
I honestly can't believe that they haven't done it already.
Yeah.
Like, because The Office is so popular.
Mm-hmm.
They
can just keep cashing in
Yeah.
on these different formats.
Maddie's such a huge fan of The Office.
Yeah.
And I saw that on Twitter, and I sent it to her because she was looking for a podcast to get into. And so that's like the
podcast.
the wet dream of podcasts for her. So I'm excited for it, honestly.
Yeah. No, it'll be cool.
But I was thinking, like, I don't know how it's going to be set up, but like,
Yeah,
I
if
was
they're, like,
thinking that I
watching
would
it or something.
watch the episode before the podcast. And
Oh,
then if they're talking
that'd
about
be
it,
cool.
then it would be like a refresher, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah. I wonder if they watch
yeah.
it or just like, hey, remember this part?
Right. I don't know. If
I'd
it's
watch
like
it. If we were doing that.
DVDs, how
Yeah.
they used to have like the commentary.
Yeah.
My dad used to watch those.
I loved those.
Like, I was never into them, but I have a respect for them now.
Sure.
But when I was like 8, I was like,
Yeah.
I want to watch the movie. Not the
I
director
think, yeah.
being like, oh yeah. But like,
This was a really good shot.
now what we're into, it's like, oh yeah, that's cool.
I'd rather watch that over the movie.
Maybe.
Oh, that makes me think of freaking kill me, dude. I had something to
Okay.
wait. No, it's gone. We're at.
All
Oh
right.
no, I remember now. That makes me think that we should have a separate podcast where we listen to our old episodes of our podcast.
Like next week we'll listen to this week's episode, and that'll be
It's just
next week's episode.
copies of copies of copies.
Yeah, so we're only reviewing like one episode essentially. If we just keep going,
Yeah.
I think that's a great idea.
That's
How
ridiculous.
long do you think we could do that for?
I don't. Before we just turn into like mush. Like we're not even saying anything.
Yeah.
Oh, gracious. So we're talking about film.
Yeah.
Now we are.
We love film.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we can have a
If
separate
you're gonna
episode.
cough, leave the room.
Sorry, sir. These are not fresh breaths. We're gonna try to stick with film as opposed to going into like television. That's at least what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think a fair question to start off talking about film is, what's your favorite movie?
That's a good one. So my go-to answer is 7.
Wow, really?
Yeah. But truthfully, I don't know like what my favorite movie of all time is.
Sure.
Because I've watched a lot of movies and I like a lot of movies for different reasons. But I don't think that I have ever like felt the same after a movie. Like
you did with
after
Seven?
I did with 7. it's just like there's so many great actors in it. Number
Yeah.
one, and it's just so disturbing.
Mm-hmm.
And the ending, like it's a meme now.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
like
yeah.
I saw this before the meme was like, or
Right,
I
right,
was
right.
exposed to it at least, and so like that ending is the greatest ending of all time.
Yeah.
for me, like I
Mhm.
was like, no way, dude. There's no way.
Yeah.
But yeah, even though Kevin Spacey's kind of a
Oh.
terrible human, like,
Mm-hmm.
he's a really good actor.
Acted well, I guess.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, it's kind of a that's a just a weird situation because he always played like a crazy guy
Yeah.
and a bad guy,
Oh, that's
and then
interesting.
in real life he's a crazy bad guy.
Yeah.
It's like maybe he was that
This
good
track
at
record,
acting
yeah.
because
That was just him.
That was him.
Yeah.
I
Ooh.
have a theory about it.
Is that
because he
the
was-
is that the theory? Or-
Yeah.
okay.
Because he was in the movie American Beauty,
Yes, which I have not seen, but I am aware
Yeah.
of. Yeah.
and I have also not seen it.
Okay.
So, you know, we
Professionals.
don't really know what we're talking about, but I'm pretty sure that he falls in love with an underage person,
Cool. I think.
and that's something that like that's what he was doing in real life. So I wonder
Oh gosh.
if during that role, like getting into that character, he actually got
like
into it in real
messed
life.
up.
You know what I mean?
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Bleh.
So we don't need to continue talking about that. That wasn't.
Yeah.
we're-
Well, it
we're
just
6 minutes in.
it just sucks that that's like has to be part of the conversation now.
It does.
You know,
Honestly,
like
yeah.
how can
we
you?
couldn't get through this podcast without talking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It's crazy. That's so crazy.
the weird thing is like, you know, the whole. I mean, so have you looked into this too much? So like just the idea of like actors and actresses or producers like abusing people and being abused.
I haven't like done extensive research on it, I guess, but
Okay.
it's just been so prevalent
Yeah.
like, everywhere that like I've heard a lot about it,
Yeah.
but I haven't like spent time on my own looking into it, I guess.
You know what? Like, so what sucks is like I get why it happens. Like it makes sense. Is like the terrible thing.
Because I get that.
Like, okay, so you know the Dan Schneider situation. He made like iCarly and
Oh yeah.
yeah, so he was like into
Yeah.
feet,
Yeah.
that kind of thing. So someone made like a documentary on YouTube,
Okay.
where they like it was a lot of like
I love
self-investigation.
documentaries.
Yeah, so it was like, you know, like the motion graphics were like subpar,
Yeah,
but it was
yeah.
like, you know,
They spent time doing their research though.
yes, yeah. So it was
that's
like,
cool.
it sucks because like if you're a child actor and you land this spot, right, and you're like, this is like my shot, right, and the guy who's in charge of how that proceeds tells me to take my shoes off.
Yeah.
It's like so what, you say no to him and then you're out
Yeah.
of a job for, you know what I mean?
The amount of power that
It
they
just
have is really,
it's
really
insane.
crazy. It is.
I don't know. Anyway, it's just
Yeah, it's crazy, and it's been happening like
hmm
for as long as film has been a thing.
yeah.
And like you would like to think that it was worse like in the 50s when it was just kind of like generally like sexist and racist, I guess.
Sure,
You
yeah.
know, like more so than now, I guess, even though it obviously
Right,
still
right.
happens. But I think that like I really do think that because of how much light has been put on this situation,
hmm
like things are changing.
Yeah.
Because I don't know because I'm not in Hollywood, but I don't think that somebody would be able to get away with it now, like to the same
It would-
degree as like
yeah.
Harvey Weinstein. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like I think all of those guys are done.
Kind of.
for.
Yeah.
And I don't think that because there's not anyone
hmm
that is like, oh yeah, I think it's okay. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like obviously it's awful, and so
Ugh.
like everyone's against it. It's like cancer. You know what
Yeah.
I mean, it's like
You can. Yeah.
nobody is in support of cancer.
Right.
So yeah, it's
Anyway.
crazy.
But boom, you know what that made me think of? Like it took us 6 minutes to start talking about like sexual abuse in the film industry.
Yeah,
Like
that was
that.
like the first thing we really
Yeah,
talked
well,
about.
well, like that reminds me of like WebMD. Like, how many symptoms does it take to get to like death?
Yeah.
Like that's what we just did.
Usually
But,
like one.
yeah, like
Same
my
thing.
knee feels funny.
Yeah. Probably have cancer.
Yeah. Anyway, so my favorite film. It's funny because it's also a David Fincher film, and we didn't talk about it prior to this, but it's The Social Network.
Oh.
Have you seen that?
Not all the way through, to be totally honest with
Okay.
you.
So
Which it's sad because I
Mhm.
really like David Fincher. I think he's like fantastic.
you know what's so crazy to me is like, so I watched Fight Club. Like Fight Club was my first David
Yeah,
Fincher movie,
Same.
and it's like, whoa, that.
Yeah.
It's not. I mean, it sucks that has become the movie where it's like, well, everyone likes Fight Club if you're
yeah,
in film.
It's like Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
you know,
So,
It's so annoying.
yeah.
Like
So
I love Pulp Fiction. Like,
Yeah.
Let me love Pulp Fiction.
yeah.
You know, like, shut up.
But
I wanted to synchronize our coughs there, but
yeah.
I got stage fright, and so now I'm not gonna cough.
But so I watched Fight Club and I was like, that was a really good movie. And this was before I like was looking into directors and looking into like script
Yeah.
writers and blah blah blah. And then I watched The Social Network and I was like, holy crap, I loved that movie. And then I found out they were directed by the same guy.
Yeah.
So I went on a Fincher spree.
Yeah.
And that's the only reason I've seen Seven is because
Okay.
I sat down and said, this guy made this movie, so I'm going to watch it.
Yeah.
But yeah, Social Network is like, what's crazy to me is the pitch sounds so boring. It's like,
Yeah.
hey, this is a movie
Yeah.
about how Facebook
It's
was invented.
about a robot named Mark Zuckerberg.
Partying with Justin Timberlake.
Yeah. That sounds like a great movie to me.
Yeah. Oh
a
man.
robot and Justin Timberlake.
But if you watch, so I watched it in high school, and it's so when they started this whole thing, they were like 19 years old, like 19, 20.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So it's funny watching it as a high schooler because you're like, oh wow, they're college kids like out doing a thing. Like this
Yeah.
is insane.
Yeah.
But I watched it like after being 21 years old, and there's a scene in it where they're meeting Justin Timberlake at a bar,
Mhm.
and they're asking each other like, do you think we'll get carded? And I'm like, I can't imagine having such an influential conversation and worrying that you
Yeah.
can't drink alcohol.
Right. That's
like-
so crazy.
I was like, that made the scene so much better to
Yeah.
watch.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think, and I really do think that it, going back to like the pitch sounds so boring.
Mm-hmm.
The story isn't boring.
Yeah.
But I think it does take somebody like David Fincher because he's so good at like displaying like moments of like
Mm-hmm.
internalization, I guess. That I think that in Jesse Eisenberg,
Yeah.
or whatever, like I think he's a great actor,
Mm-hmm.
and I think like with a different director and different actors, which that's so dumb to say, like it would be a way worse movie. But
No,
like,
yeah.
I don't know who else could do it
Like, well,
like that.
yeah.
though.
It would
You
just
know
take
what
a
I mean?
different tone.
Yeah.
Did you know? Okay, so Aaron Sorkin wrote that movie. Are you
Okay.
familiar with him at all?
Not really.
Okay, so
no.
I can't remember what other show he wrote for, but he was he's like famous for the Walk With Me, so he's at work and he needs to like explain to a new person on the job,
Oh.
and he goes, "Walk with me,"
Yeah.
and like explains it. That's like his
That's hilarious.
thing.
Okay,
So anyway,
yeah.
he goes on set of his movies, and he so in his dialogue he'll write ums and like stutters, and he makes sure that the actors do them. Like
'Cause
he
he's like thought it out
Yeah,
to where he thinks that that's the,
Yes, he doesn't like allow them
Interesting.
to like stray from what he's written.
That's interesting.
Which I mean, it's David Fincher's kind of the same controlling.
Yeah.
You know.
David Fincher, doesn't he do like 4 times the amount of like footage than
Yeah.
normal
So
directors?
the first
so everything's perfect.
the first shot in Social Network I think took like 90 takes. It's
Jesus.
ridiculous.
That's
like
insane.
I don't even know, but I read that he'll
Could
do
you
this thing.
imagine
No, I could
being on
not.
that
I'd
set?
quit. I'd like.
Yeah, that would be awful. But it's like David Fincher.
Yeah.
You know.
I guess.
Yeah, that's Hollywood.
But he'll take so he has like 90 takes of this thing, right? If he likes the top right corner of a frame on take 63 more than take 82, he'll stitch frames
I have
together.
heard that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like
That's
what
insane.
like
Who cares?
I
like nobody but you knows.
Yeah.
You know, that's
But maybe that's part of
perfection
it,
to
like
to a flaw, I think. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. He's super successful and he's
Incredible. Like
incredible. Yeah. So maybe.
Yeah, we're the chumps.
Yeah, but
We're sitting here in Muncie, Indiana, criticizing.
Yeah, like David Fincher.
Yeah.
One of the greatest directors of all time. Yeah. Geez, that's so crazy though. I think it's so funny that we're just like two Midwest white guys, and
Yeah.
both of our favorite movies are David Fincher movies.
Damn it.
So much diversity on this
Okay.
podcast.
Well, okay, I guess that brings me into something that could have more like diverse answers. Do you have like a guilty pleasure movie or like a movie that you know is bad but you enjoy anyway? I can start because
Yeah, you start.
absolutely
I have
have
to
mine.
Think about that one.
So I have a couple, but I'm gonna get into one. So I love Benchwarmers. First of all,
I love Benchwarmers.
terrible movie.
I just love it.
I no, but like yeah. Anyway, not good. Have you ever seen Speed Racer?
Yes, dude.
Okay,
With,
so-
John Goodman,
Yeah.
his dad,
Uh-huh.
and the monkey.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
dude.
So, do you like Speed Racer?
I like Speed Racer, dude.
So it's so funny because this was like, oh, this is getting into a big thing. So this was before.
I just thought of my movie really quick. Keep
Oh yeah.
going.
Okay. So this was kind of before I realized that I really enjoyed like anime and like the
I
style
don't
of.
know where my phone is.
Oh.
Keep going.
Urgh.
I don't need it.
So
I
I.
don't need it. What episode?
I need 1B Sandy's Tree Dome.
Jacob interned at Nickelodeon this summer, and he knows everything about SpongeBob.
Yeah.
'Kay,
Like it was.
go ahead.
Yeah. That's a whole nother thing.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. It's like second nature. Like
Yeah.
I didn't know that I could do that
Yeah.
until it happened, and I was like, oh. Anyway, so Speed Racer, if you haven't seen it, I think objectively, I don't think it's a good movie. Like I think the way the story is told, it's like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's not stopping me
Like
from having.
critically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not stopping me from having fun watching it, but like, I get that it's like not good. Anyway, so it's pretty much a live action anime, which I didn't know at the time, but I watched it and I was like, this, like I love this, and I didn't know why. Like this
Yeah.
was so cool.
That's interesting with the live action anime.
Yeah.
Because it is.
Yeah. No, it like so there was a scene so
Wow.
my friend and I love Speed Racer and we've talked about it a lot. He's watched like BTS, like anyway. There's a scene where they're fighting in like snowy mountains
Yeah.
and you know there's a bunch of like whip pans, right?
Yeah.
They use falling snow as action lines. So like when you whip it like it streaks,
Wow.
creating like action lines like there would be in an anime.
Yeah.
So it's like little things like that. It's just, you know,
That's so cool. I think it's fun.
it's fun.
Like
It's a trip.
and I think that because like it takes a certain amount of skill to make that movie.
pull it
I
off,
think
yeah.
the script is like what's lacking in it, I guess,
Mm-hmm.
with just like I guess it's like all tropes and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But and then the acting, but it's like over the top on purpose because it's a live action anime.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like I don't know. I forgot about that movie.
Yeah.
I love that movie.
It's a style you have to accept. And if you don't accept it, you're not going to have a good time. But if you do and you kind of like allow it to be, then it's, you know,
Yeah.
then you'll have a good time. But what's yours?
All right. So The Dark Crystal.
Okay. I've never
Okay.
heard of that.
So it's the guy who did the Muppets.
Jim Henson. Henson?
Jim Henson.
Yeah.
Yeah, because all I could think was Jim Morrison. I knew
Yeah.
that was wrong. Jim Henson created a fantasy movie with like puppets, and it's dope.
Really?
And I watched it for the first time when I was like 8 or something,
Mm-hmm.
and I was at my dad's house, and where I watched a lot of my movies growing up. And this movie is like, it's insane because it's all puppets, and then everything is just like, you know, it's all on set, but it's on this like weird planet, I guess. And there's this crystal, and there's like a shard of it that's like gone missing, and then there's this like race of like vulture people that like, and I'm gonna pull up something from it.
Yeah.
just so you can see what this looks like. And like the main character is this other race, and he's like the chosen one. Prophet.
Awesome.
And so like it's all puppets, but then I watched it like 2 weeks ago because I saw it was on Netflix, and then Netflix released like a limited TV show series.
Okay, I have
it.
heard of this. Yeah.
And I haven't watched it yet, but this movie, like, I watched it again. I forgot how much I love this movie.
Really?
Yeah, and
So it still holds up.
I mean, because it's puppets,
Yeah.
it does.
It's kind of timeless.
Because it's
Yeah.
because it's like it's all practical, so you can't like.
Yeah. No, I understand
it's
what you're
not
saying.
fading in quality.
Yeah.
If anything, like that was the height of puppets. You know, like.
That's just funny. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm gonna pull something up. Oh,
Cool.
we got a handy dandy iPad. I don't know if you want to tell everybody what they're about to.
Oh yeah. So, our big budget studio production of this podcast, we have an iPad hooked up to our to our mixer that we're gonna play stuff out of, and it'll work, and it'll be super cool. That's about it.
Ooh,
What?
found the movie trailer, 1982.
Wow. Okay.
Okay.
Hit me.
So we're gonna watch this really quick. Beautiful.
In a place outside time,
Yeah.
lies a
Yep.
mystical realm of sound and vision. A wondrous civilization
I'm getting Smurf vibes.
where good and evil struggle to
So those are the
possess
vulture people.
the dark crystal.
It's just like
The planets aligned in the dark crystal.
exactly.
Yeah.
So it's like super cheesy. And,
Yeah.
like, the storyline is like the most basic like prophecy.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Story,
Yeah.
but like, and it's super nerdy,
Yeah.
you know. But
So Jim Henson made this?
yes, dude. Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
This is
And like all of these figures
the
are
Dark
puppets.
Crystal. Oh
But
my gosh.
the only time when it's not puppets is when the main character is running around and Jim Henson. But when the main character is running around and then it's like a little boy, but you only see him from behind, and he's like jumping and running, and it's like clearly a human.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then it goes to the puppet, and he's like doing that. It's so awesome.
Shoot.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you want to do the first ad read?
We do. Here we go.
The Breath of Fresh Eric and Jacob podcast is brought to you in part by Movie Theatre Popcorn. Make sure there's a defibrillator on hand because you're basically drinking butter. Yum!
You thought the intro was it? Nope.
Yeah. So we're gonna make this poor man read our ads for the end of time. And
Alistair.
my
will
favorite
be-
thing about that is the yum on the end.
Yeah.
Because that was like the fourth time he read it. Because we got just the full unedited thing, and that was the fourth time he read it, and you could tell he was just over it.
Yeah.
And that's
we
the one
were
we used.
we were
because-
not amusing him
because it was by far the funniest. So yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Be ready for
man.
some New Zealand ad reads.
Yeah. So
Increasing in production quality every week, son.
yeah, you know, and it's really exciting because we have changed something every week so far, and it's like, what could we do better? And
Yeah.
like I really enjoy like putting my time and energy into something.
Yeah.
that's
No, it's cool.
productive.
It's exciting.
Yeah, it is. So I have something.
Yes.
Are there any movies that I guess I have two things. Let's start with this one. What's the weirdest movie you've ever seen, or the most uncomfortable you've ever felt after watching a movie?
Uncomfortable meaning like that was cringeworthy, or like
No, more like
it was intentional.
a well done
okay,
movie.
sure. That made me uncomfortable.
because I have two that are tied
Okay.
for different reasons.
You know what's terrible? Okay, this isn't answering your question, but I'm going to talk about it.
Yeah, talk
so
about it.
I love the Saw movies.
Yeah,
I love them.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I think like so that got categorized as, I don't know if you've heard of it. It's called torture porn.
Yeah.
Like Final Destination and Saw
Yeah.
like are under this category. And I don't know.
You're into that? Get you
I mean,
going?
yes, technically, I guess, but like I am able to see past what it's doing and be
Yeah.
like, this is just ridiculous.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
so whereas some
It's not
people,
like,
it's
oh yeah,
cut your leg off.
fall into that pit of 8 needles.
Yeah.
like-
Yeah. So
Yeah.
but I mean, there are moments in that where I get kind of,
yeah,
you know,
yeah. No, I
little
understand.
twinge.
That. I definitely understand that. The first Saw movie, I think it's awesome.
it's a great movie. Yeah.
It's like, and it took me a while to see it.
Mhm.
I don't know when it came out, but like growing up, I remember it like Saw 3 and 4 and
Yeah.
all these, and I was like, whatever. You know?
Okay.
And
Yeah.
then my roommate Adam
Mhm.
was like, "Oh, I love the Saw movies," and I was like, "Really?" And he was like, "Yeah." And the first one, honestly, is a good movie. And I was like, "No way."
Yeah.
Like it's not. There's no way. And then I watched it. I was like,
Yeah.
"That's a good movie."
And then they just kept.
Yeah. And then
trying
it's
to
like
do
they're
that,
just
yeah.
cashing out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I
For people like me.
Yeah.
who-
yeah. And so yeah, the Saw. That's not a bad pick.
Yeah. I'm trying to like intentionally uncomfortable though. Like, well, I hate scary movies.
Okay.
So anything, it's just hilarious that I love Saw, but I hate like
Yeah.
horror.
Yeah, it's a different
Yeah.
genre.
Like, so anything with like demonic or spirit based scare
Yeah.
stuff, it terrifies me. I hate it.
Have you seen the movie Midsummer?
No.
It's an A24 film.
Okay.
These people go out to this cult in like Scandinavia or something,
Hmm.
and these people are whacked.
Is this like a based on a true thing or is it just
No.
okay?
Hopefully not. But like the opening scene
Mm-hmm.
to it depicts like a suicide
Mm-hmm.
and like a suicide homicide double
Sure.
thing. And like for the first 5 minutes of the film, like my mouth was just open.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Wait, I have an answer to that
Yes,
question.
yes,
I
please.
watched what's the Stanford Prison Experiment?
Oh yeah.
That actually made me incredibly uncomfortable.
Yeah, yeah.
Um
Wow, that's a
oh
yeah.
my gosh.
Maddie made me watch that, and I didn't enjoy it.
No, it was
It was really well done.
yeah. Oh my gosh. Wow,
Yeah.
it's like coming back now.
Yeah, that movie is whacked because it just shows like what we are.
Yeah.
You know?
No, like I guess like I was just home alone when I watched it. Like I was just kind of
Yeah.
like I'd always heard
Mhm.
about it and I heard that it like something crazy happened.
Yeah.
And I watched it and I almost turned it off. I was
Yeah.
like, this is I don't know what, it's touching my soul in a way that I'm not
Yeah, because
a fan of.
you're watching like people that are in positions of power taking advantage of that power,
Yeah.
and then people that are the prisoners are like getting screwed,
Yeah.
and then the people conducting the experiment
Like
are
let it
like,
go.
so invested in like yeah, they're just watching, and it's like that's like the three like forms of humanity or whatever.
Hmm. Oh, sure,
Like,
sure.
You have power, you don't have power, or you have so much power that you watch.
The power.
You just
Yeah.
watch like the struggle. Craziness.
Gosh. Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
that one.
That's a good.
That's
one.
that's
a
my
good
answer.
one. I forgot about
Mhm.
that. Wow. Yeah, but Midsummer,
Okay, yeah.
they end up this cult ends up just killing them all off, except for the main chick who then becomes the queen of this place.
Yeah.
But this movie, like, it's one of those to where like there weren't any demons or anything. It was just this like pagan cult,
Yeah.
and these people were just so whacked that like they were just killing them. You know, it was just like,
yeah.
and then they'd be like, "Where'd they go?" And he's like, "Oh, they took a train home.
Oh.
Dinner's in like 30 minutes." Like, and
One of
they-
the Kool-Aid situation.
it was like, we're just gonna, take you out back and chop you up real quick.
Ew.
Like craziness. And then like way deeper than that. You know, it was way more subtle and like at the beginning it was kind of like, you know that they're killing him, but there's no evidence. Like you as the viewer don't even have the evidence, but you just know that they're killing him because
what else are
everybody knows that they're killing him, but they're in the middle of nowhere in Switzerland or something. And so it's just like, it's so crazy. And there's a scene in the end where this guy's running away and he's like naked and they drugged him and like he's running and he goes into this building and then there's a person that's been like strung up and like gutted and like their lungs were taken out of their back and then they looked like a butterfly. And they were still alive, dude.
Oh no.
Yeah, and I was just like, the whole movie I was just like, what's going on? But afterwards, I was like, that was good. Like, objectively, it was really good. And A24, like, and there was a lot of like drug use because they were like giving them hallucinogens, and they were doing like crazy stuff with the camera.
Oh, that's
which
cool.
Was cool.
Yeah.
So there's that movie, and then the other one I just watched recently, and it's Eraserhead. David.
Okay,
Lynch.
yeah, I've heard of it. I feel like I think I watched a trailer for it.
That movie, like, I don't even like. There isn't much to talk about.
Sure.
Because I don't know what I watched the whole entire time.
Yeah.
Like, apparently it's a nightmare.
Okay.
And so, you know how, like, when you're dreaming, things don't really make sense all the time, like, chronologically. And so that's how the movie is. So that's why it doesn't make sense. And because it's in a dream, like,
it's even less
things
sense.
Just don't always add up. Like, all the plants, like, none of them are in pots. Like, it's dirt and then a plant. Like,
yeah.
And it's just, like, weird things like that. And it's super abstract and strange. And, like, it's technically a horror movie, but it's not scary. It's just super unnerving.
Yeah.
And there's this, like, woman that's living in his radiator, but, like, it's impossible to live in a radiator.
Yeah.
And she's got, like, these big cheeks, and it's just like, what is going on?
You know, normally you couldn't live in a radiator, but
yeah. But she found a way. But I found out that this movie, like, he has a kid. Best practical effects I've ever seen. This baby in Eraserhead. It looks like a lizard alien or something. Supposedly they used, like, a baby calf.
Okay.
Like, a dead one.
Yeah.
That they skinned it, and so but they have control of the eyes.
Oh.
So the eyes are moving and the mouth moves and, like, crazy. But nobody knows how it was made. And after the film, he buried it. Like, it dies in the movie, and they had a funeral for it. And
what?
Yeah, it's so weird. But it took him 5 years to make it. And David Lynch lived in the room that the guy lived in.
Yeah.
Because they had no money.
What? Like,
crazy.
At what point is, like, something like that, is it, like, renowned as, like, being really good? And at what point is it, like, you're being gimmicky?
Yeah, so
I don't know.
I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
And this one, I think, is as far as you can go being really good.
Okay. Like, this was the limit?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
Because the effects were really good.
Mm-hmm.
The acting in it was strange, but worked really well. And, like, it's about him, the director. The director had this kid, and he was afraid of being a father, and the kid was deformed. She had, like, severely clubbed feet. It's where your feet are, like, curved in. Or
Yeah.
And so this movie is his nightmare, which is actually his real life. Like, he has this kid. So him in the movie has a baby that looks like an alien, and then his wife leaves him, and then, like, he has to take care of this baby, and he doesn't know how, and he's afraid of doing it. And so then there's, like, he gets seduced by this woman, and then like
The radiator
his
woman.
wife's parents. No, his wife's the radiator woman is like how he commits suicide, and she's like an angel or something. I don't know. It does not make sense. But afterwards, I watched it at work,
Yeah.
and because my job is a joke,
Yeah.
and afterwards, I just like sat there in silence for a little bit
Uh-huh.
because I was just like, "What?"
Wait a
dude?
minute.
Yeah,
Okay.
but it's called Eraserhead.
Yeah.
I should have pulled this up, dude, because I knew I was going to talk about this. And I want to show you this scene.
Yeah.
And this is like removed from the rest of the movie.
No,
Like,
it's
this
not.
is just like a little.
What?
Yeah, and it's,
Wait, like,
and
so-
it's the title of it.
Okay. So does this scene like stand alone? Like I guess I don't understand.
It just like it's things are going on, and then like this happens, and then it goes back
Okay.
to like it's like a nightmare
To whatever it
within a
was.
nightmare.
Yeah. This just sounds complicated.
It is. It is.
Like-
It's unnecessary. Okay. Yeah,
We got it?
let's- Yeah.
Let's do it.
It's all black and white.
Hmm.
It's filmed in 1977.
Is she holding a head?
Yeah, that's his head.
Okay. Wait, his own
The
head?
main characters. yeah.
Okay.
It blows off. It's hard to explain.
Okay. Please help someone.
Okay, Paul! Hiya, Sonny. What do you got there?
Oh, that's a child.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. The head handoff.
Counter, Paul!
Oh, shoot. It cut out right beforehand.
Well, that was weird nonetheless.
Yeah.
That
but
feels
then-
like the tone.
So, yeah, that gives you enough, I guess. But so then they put his head into a machine
Mhm.
that drills a core out of his brain and then they use his brain as erasers on like it's like a pencil factory.
Yeah.
And then like and so that's why it's called Eraserhead.
Okay.
And then it's
Yep.
just like and then it just
Why
like,
wouldn't it be?
that scene starts by his head just blowing off and this kid picking it up out of the street, and then that happens, and then
This machine.
it gets made into pencils, and then it cuts back to him like just doing stuff. It's like, what does that mean?
Yeah.
And it, you know what I
Why?
mean? So there was
Yeah.
like an extent of it where I was like, what am I watching?
What's yeah.
You know, it was yeah. So yeah,
Okay. That is uncomfortable.
yeah.
I'm uncomfortable. Is
And it
what
was kind of there were kind of funny parts.
Yeah.
Just because it was so like long,
Right.
you know, like he keeps
It's a
buzzing
slow
the
burn.
thing,
Yeah.
and it's like, you know,
Boss is like, hey.
yeah, and he's got a head. Yeah.
Mm.
All right. I'm pretty upset that you didn't get to see the pencil machine.
No, it's all
but,
good.
Yeah.
I'm kind of glad I didn't see the pencil machine.
Yeah, maybe.
Early morning. What time are we at?
We're at 40.
We could probably do a second ad read.
A second ad read.
Yeah.
The Breath of Fresh Eric and Jacob podcast is brought to you in part by The Industry. What is it? Who cares? Just say you're in the industry to instantly impress anyone in California.
Yeah.
I want to get him to read like just some dumb. Like,
Yeah, we
something
just got to be
stupid.
ridiculous. Yeah.
Nothing like really crude or anything to like turn it down,
Right.
but just like make baby noises.
Yeah,
or
that's what
something,
I
you know?
was. That's like where I was thinking. Man, yeah, the
That's so
industry. It's lucrative.
Yeah.
It just sounds like a thing.
Yeah,
It doesn't sound
when
real.
really you could just be making films in your basement.
You could be in a podcast studio
Yeah,
on your
we're in
college
the
campus.
industry.
Yeah, right now. This is
Yeah.
the industry.
Nobody cares.
Yeah.
So.
No one cares about our industry.
That's what I was thinking. I was listening back to our podcast and like the first one when we were locked in here.
Yeah.
And then you said last episode like we would just have to keep recording them until
We die.
Somebody found it. Yeah,
Yeah.
we died, but like nobody listened, so nobody would ever find us. And then they just like somebody would eventually use it, and they'd be like, "Oh, there's
Wait a minute.
2 dead guys in here. Look at this log.
They have 100 podcast episodes.
Look at this log of everything that they've been going through."
That would be okay.
It's
That
kinda
would
like
be
the
a
Diary of Anne Frank. But
yeah. Oh, okay. Well,
like not.
that.
It's not, but like the same concept.
But what
you know
you're
what I mean?
what you're
Like,
describing is an art installation. Like, and you just like slowly hear us losing our sanity.
Yeah,
like
yeah. They at the IMA.
we're like
or-
eating ourselves in like
Yeah.
episode 55.
Found some candy in the like found a melted Hershey's bar in the bottom of my backpack. I'm not telling Jacob. And he's like, "What?"
I can hear you.
But at the I think it's called Newfields now. But the Indianapolis Museum of Art.
Mhm.
There's this lake there. You know where the Lovely Bones? Is?
Yes. Yeah.
Featured in the movie Fault in Our Stars. Even though, yeah, never mind. So there's a lake at that park, and they built this dome
Mm-hmm.
in the middle of it, and then they put 2 people out there, and then scientists studied them. It was like an Eli Lilly study. Scientists studied them in solitary, like how would people react in solitary confinement for like a.
How long were they in there?
My brain says a year.
A
and that
year?
seems like a really long time. But yeah.
Dang.
And they would like feed them and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Obviously.
But just like see.
Yeah, but I don't know if it was like a man and a woman.
Oh.
I feel like it should be, because then it would be like, how long would it take for them to like, you know, hook up?
Mate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like, it's human nature, you know what I
To-
mean? And
yeah,
so it's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I wonder how long it would take, because a year with a person every day, like,
Something's got to happen.
yeah,
Yeah.
even if it's like
Or they end up like
2
hurting
dudes
each
or
other.
2 girls,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
like I wonder.
Mm-hmm. Dang.
It'd be interesting.
Was it
I don't know,
inconclusive?
We'll have to follow up on that.
Yeah.
Because I don't know anything about it.
Speculating wildly.
Yeah, that's a lot of where my head goes. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But yeah, just what?
What?
You know, why would you volunteer?
Stick
for
them out
that?
there. Yeah.
You know?
What are you getting out of that? Okay, I do have another thing we could talk about because everyone talks about it, and we
Yes.
can't not talk about it.
talk
Streaming stuff.
Ah,
It may honestly, I'm bringing it back. The Office podcast made me think, like, is that not just a giant ad for The Office again, as it's about to switch over to NBC,
yeah,
like online? You know,
yeah.
now that I bring up streaming
Maybe.
services, I feel like I'm in a classroom. I don't know that I want to talk about this.
I mean, we can talk about it.
okay.
Yeah, because, or at least I have something to say.
Yeah.
So, we had cable.
Mm-hmm.
We had,
Do you remember cable?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Not like what it is now, like the
Nickel-
digital cable, but like
Nickelodeon was channel 37.
37. Yeah.
Cartoon Network was
45.
45.
Yep.
Disney Channel was 38.
38.
I think.
Yeah.
Food Network was 46.
Fox was 44. FX was 54.
Yeah. So like,
28 was
it's
Discovery.
still in my brain
Yep.
for some
Shoot.
reason.
You're right. I
Yeah.
didn't even.
And like, I still remember my home phone number too. for,
Yeah.
Like, you know, and my best
What
friend's
is it?
home phone number is 770-1930. Call that number. I don't even remember what we were talking about.
Streaming.
Yeah. So we had cable. Then it was like, you can get this cable bundle.
Yeah.
And then it was like, oh, we got satellite. And then it's like, you can get the ultimate package.
Mhm.
Like the base level, you don't get anything, but like you can pay.
You can say you have cable.
$80 more and then get like all sports, these movie channels,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
things
yeah.
like that. So literally, then it was like, okay, we've got streaming, like Netflix is out there. You can pay like $5 a month, and then you can watch whatever movies we have up here.
Yeah.
A lot of them suck, but like you can do it.
But here,
And then it got better. Then you got your competitors, and now everybody's got their own streaming platform.
yeah.
And then there's going to be some company that comes along. We should do it. I don't know.
What,
In fact, I don't even know why we're not doing it already. But you just bundle the streaming services together
And then it's
with a little bit of a discount, and it's literally what we just
and
had.
it's cable again.
Except for
yeah.
now we're using internet,
Yeah.
like broadband. So like the end is nigh.
Yeah.
It's so frustrating.
Have you looked into Disney Plus?
No, I
It's
dislike Disney with such
vigor.
yes, with such vigor that I don't care if I have children.
Yeah.
I'm not. They're paying for Disney Plus.
Wow.
If they want it.
So here's the like, are you strictly anti Disney Plus because of like?
No, and that's a lie. If I have children, I'll get them Disney Plus because I do think that Disney and Pixar and Marvel,
Pretty
they
cool.
make good movies.
Yeah.
But I hate Disney as a company because of what they do
Mm-hmm.
and who they are, I guess.
Yeah. I guess so. This probably plays into what you just said. Like, so Disney Plus, it's starting. Last time I looked, it was starting at $7 a month for all of what you just described, like Marvel and Pixar and
Yeah.
the Star Wars TV shows,
Yeah.
like the Marvel TV shows.
And ESPN.
$7 a month
Yeah.
for all of that.
That is pretty crazy. It'll go up to $15 next year.
I think they're gonna they make it that cheap to undercut everyone else.
Yeah.
Because they can do it.
Yeah.
You know?
They can afford to do that for 5 years or something.
Yeah.
And that's 100% the reason why I hate Disney.
Yeah.
Because they're going to make it $7 a month. People are going to be like, oh, like, I have kids. Like, I'm going to switch to Disney.
Yeah.
Like, I'm an average white dude. Like, I'm going to switch to Disney so I can watch all the Marvel movies and Star Wars movies.
Right.
Even though I hate what they have done with Marvel and Star Wars.
Yeah.
Two of my favorite things growing up, and now, like, I have no desire to see any more Marvel movies or any more Star Wars movies.
Yeah.
And it's just, ugh. And so, yeah, they're going to do what they do with everything else.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to, like, undercut and then
swallow
just,
it. Yeah.
then it's going to be, we added a few more movies. It's going to be $20 a month now.
Yeah.
We're just like, for our $7 a month, you can watch like 30 minutes of entertainment a day.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, like, you can buy
Thanks.
our unlimited package for $70 a
Right.
month.
Yeah. Yeah.
Stupid.
Wait. Okay. That takes me back. Do you remember Movie Pass?
Movie Pass.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So you would know what it is if you
Okay.
were familiar. So Movie Pass was a subscription service where you spend, I'm pretty sure it was $10 or $15 a month, and they sent you like a debit card, and the whole pitch was you can see a movie a day for $15 a month. So you go to like participating AMC theaters,
What?
you go in your app and you click, I want to see this movie. You can't pre-order tickets, like you can't, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. So you could show up and say you want to see this movie, go in, swipe it. It's like, it acts like a gift card.
That's nuts.
So last I heard, they were just like struggling. Like, I'm pretty sure they've gone under.
Yeah.
But like, it's so funny because I was explaining this business model to my dad, and he's like, it doesn't make sense. Like they're giving money to people. But yeah, like I would see, it was like Oscar season 2 years ago, or like right at the end of,
Yeah.
the season or whatever. And I mean, Ashley and I saw 5 movies in 8 days
Wow.
for $15 a month.
That's crazy.
And then eventually, like, there was like an Onion article about it that was like good news, Movie Pass is back on top after they stopped mailing people $200 a month.
Yeah.
So
That's nuts.
that just takes me back, because that was like, it was so fun. You
That's
could just
crazy.
you could
Yeah,
just go
no,
in and
I had no idea.
yeah, but
I
they
used to go to the movies all the time too.
hmm
Wasted so much money.
yeah.
That made me think of something. Do you remember Netflix when they used to mail
Yeah.
DVDs to your house? Like that's what it used to be.
Oh man,
And then Blockbuster came out with it too.
trying to do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like,
I
okay.
was like, I got my Netflix subscription. And so like I've been a Netflix subscriber
Mhm.
in a home that is a Netflix subscriber for like years.
Yeah.
Way before they switched to streaming. Cause
Oh, so you participated in the
yeah.
mailing of
Yeah.
DVDs. Yeah.
Yeah. It'd be like, gotta mail it back or else it's gonna be a late fee, some stuff like that. So
Oh, that's funny.
but like
You mail this DVD.
yeah, like how 2000.
Yeah.
But so Netflix is like billions of dollars in debt,
Yeah.
and Disney is not.
Is not. Yeah.
And so I honestly think that Netflix is going to go out of business in the next couple of years because I don't think that they will be able to survive the streaming wars.
Yeah.
And all of these companies like NBC, like they've got money.
Yeah.
So like their streaming service, like they've got more money than Netflix does.
Yeah.
And I know that Netflix is like, they're in debt, but they're in debt to like make the money back.
Yeah.
But like, they're still in debt.
Right.
A lot of debt.
And the only way to make that back for them is to get more subscribers, right?
Right.
Which is like, if you just keep making content, then it's like,
There's a point
where it's like the people who are subscribed to you are just going to stay subscribed.
and like they've got like Stranger Things.
Yeah.
What's another Netflix TV show that's big?
I couldn't even
Is
tell
that
you.
it?
I don't know. They picked up Arrested
Like-
Development for a 5th season.
Yeah, but it's like,
an original Netflix that's good. Have you seen their movies are terrible.
yeah, they're not good.
Not good. Man, TV. Nothing's really
It's just
jumping
like-
out.
Yeah, like they can't live off of Stranger Things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
okay,
their-
yeah,
and their
yeah.
movies, like, there was one horror movie that I watched that was a Netflix original that I liked. It was like a Stephen King adaptation. It was like 1999
Oh,
or
yeah,
something.
yeah.
Yeah, that one was pretty cool. It was like a hyper period piece. Like, couldn't understand what the people were saying and stuff. And it was in the United States.
Oh,
but-
BoJack Horseman, maybe.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
BoJack Horseman, I love BoJack
Yeah,
Horseman.
it's a good one.
But like, still,
Yeah,
you know what I
it's-
mean? Like
yeah.
those Disney is winning
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
They're winning it. And like the whole thing the whole thing with Spider-Man and Sony and stuff like that,
Yeah.
it just makes me so mad.
It was cool. I don't know if you kind of caught this or not, but like in like the Twitter sphere, like everyone was initially really pissed at Sony.
Yeah.
And then it flipped
Yeah.
way like very quickly.
Yes.
And everyone was like, no, this is like Disney's the problem.
Yes.
And look, you are falling into their trap
Right.
of getting angry at other companies.
Yes. I think
Wow.
I think the thing that makes me the angriest about the whole Disney situation
Mm-hmm.
is that they create content for kids. And now
So it's like the
families.
front of like,
But it's
yeah.
like, you know how many people that we interact with on a daily basis that their dream has been to work at Disney? Like in our industry, they have still fooled people into being like, you know, because they are, it's like the Walmart of film, I guess.
Sure.
So like small productions can't hang,
Yeah.
and so, you know, like the big one, the mouse,
Mhm.
is sucking it all up. And it's like they pitch it to, they make all these kids movies,
Mm-hmm.
but like kids don't understand what they're doing, like
Yeah.
to the economy of
economically,
film.
yeah.
And it's like, and how just like cutthroat they are about it.
Yeah.
Like they tried, you know how many times that they tried to buy Pixar? The guy who created Pixar
Mm-hmm.
used to work at Disney and then quit and then created Pixar on his own.
Oh,
And it was
okay.
like, I'm never going to sell to you guys. And
And
then
he did.
somehow
Yeah.
did. You know what I mean? So I don't know if it's like,
Jeez.
as soon as he retired, his kids were like, we'll take billions of dollars for Pixar.
Yeah.
Like, but it's just like, that sucks.
It like, man.
I know we've been talking about this a lot, but I'm just really passionate about it.
Yeah, no,
It just makes me so mad.
Yeah, man. Here's the tricky thing. So like, wait, what time are we at?
54.
Okay, we're cutting it close.
We can go over an
Yeah.
hour.
So,
Screw it. What they gonna do?
this is our show, baby.
Yeah.
This ain't Disney's podcast.
This ain't Disney's. You'll take Bowfedge when you
Fry it from
fry
our
it
cold.
from my cold dead fingers, Disney. You're listening to me.
Calling you out.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, you know what's terrible is like, I like the stuff they make.
Me too.
That's the worst part
Me
of it.
too.
And I talk with Ashley a lot about this because I'm kind of like, yes, it's happening. Like it's easy to recognize, but like, is it really that bad? Was my question. This was just like a car conversation.
Yeah.
And of course it's bad, but I was like, how bad is it really? And a recent example was, so they picked up Fox. Are you familiar with Taika Waititi? He did Thor Ragnarok.
Oh,
He did, yeah.
Yeah.
So he made a movie called Jojo Rabbit.
Okay.
I think Fox made it, and this was before it was
Yeah.
like acquired. And there was a debate on whether or not they should release it because it doesn't fit Disney's
Wow.
mantra or whatever. So that I have a problem with.
Because it's like Disney didn't make the movie.
Yeah.
Just because they own it now, like.
Yeah. So there were, yeah. And the only, that's facts on facts that I just heard. So,
Yeah, that's interesting. And like they do make stuff that people want to see.
yeah.
And they're I don't know. They just vanillify everything.
Yes. Yeah.
Like when they got
a
a
big
hold of
Disney
Marvel,
stamp on it. Yeah.
It became like cheesy one-liner jokes every other line
yeah.
and like buttloads of money. You
There's-
know what I mean?
There's a great video about that on YouTube,
I
but
will have
it's
to
really
watch it.
long. Yeah. But anyway.
And I will have to send it to me.
Yeah.
But it's like I would love like that's why I'm excited. I don't know what your stance on this new Joker movie that's coming out
yeah.
is, but that's why I'm so excited to see it because like it's comic books, so it's like
Be fun.
It doesn't matter,
Yeah.
So like, but like at the same time, it doesn't all have to be exactly the same, Like
Sure. Yeah.
like I don't know. It
Yeah.
just like.
I know what you're
What's the
saying.
difference between the characters in the Avengers? Like, really?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, they have different qualities and a little bit of different personalities, but they're all just, like, not real people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think it's interesting. So 2 years ago, I was at the Austin Film Festival, where the writers of Infinity War spoke, and I listened to like a panel on them. And it was interesting to hear them. Well, they also wrote all of Captain America, like all the Captain Americas leading up to that. And someone kind of asked, like, how do you make stories about a person who stays the same?
Yeah.
Because, like, that's the idea of a comic book is,
Right.
like, adventures of Captain America.
Yeah.
Like, so they said their answer was to change the world around them and have them react to it.
Yeah.
Which, like, I don't know. It sucks because when you break down comic book movies, you're making a comic book,
Yeah.
Real life, but people
Yeah.
have attached so hard to it
Right.
that like, like audiences' opinions are influencing stories and like how
Yeah.
many get made and like,
I guess I'm pissed off that I'm complaining about this now.
yeah.
Because it's a comic book and it, like,
Yes.
doesn't matter.
Yes.
But, like, I guess it's a bad example for what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
But like, yeah, you're right. Because like it doesn't matter. It's just like there are so many comic book movies out and like they're all sequels. Like the state of film sucks right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was listening to the Congratulations podcast
Yeah.
and he was talking about how it's like he was driving down some street and there's all these billboards of movies and it was like Angry Birds 2
Yeah.
and then another Terminator movie,
Yeah.
or no, it was Rambo, like the new Rambo movie that's coming out. It's like Rambo 8
Yeah.
or whatever, and then all these sequels, or just like, dumb stuff, and it's like what I want. Maybe not the Marvel movies to have like deep, interesting characters, but I want movies to have deep and interesting characters, and all that's out are like.
Yeah.
Disney movies, you know what I mean? And if it's not a Disney movie, it's a movie that's trying to be a Disney movie.
Yeah.
because it
Interesting.
sells.
Yeah.
It works.
I'm wondering if this is like a generational thing. Like
I think so.
So comic book movies are big now because the people who are in charge of making movies grew up on comic books,
And then kids like them.
and then kids,
So it's like the whole family likes
Yeah.
the movie because they have an interest in it.
so like it'll be interesting to see what happens when like our generation's like making big executive decisions.
Yeah. Super
Um,
interesting. You know how many people are going to be dead when we're in charge? Like
Like a lot.
all the baby boomers will be gone
Yeah.
when we're like 50. You know what I mean? So it's like that's such a massive chunk of our population,
Yeah.
and they're all making decisions. And
That'll be crazy.
it will be crazy. It's insane.
Man, do you want to bring it home with this last ad read?
Yeah, let's do.
Let's lighten the mood.
Yeah.
The Breath of Fresh Eric and Jacob podcast is brought to you in part by Sticky Floors. Are your shoes losing traction? No problem. 3 steps on a movie theater floor will collect enough stick to make your shoes better than brand new.
I love that one
Yeah.
because his pitch sounds like he's selling something.
Yeah. No,
You know
yeah,
what I
that's
mean?
the yeah. Hey, sticky floors. It's like, okay, yeah. When it's
Yeah.
really this gross, like, man. But yeah, that came out of like, hey, when you walk through a movie theater and you step outside,
that
you got a
does
little
suck.
bit, more
And that does
more
suck.
grip.
That sucks. I really hate like when you leave a movie theater and you see like somebody has spilled their drink and then just like all their popcorn. And
Yeah.
they're just like leaving the bags and the seats and stuff. It's like, what's going on?
What?
Like just take.
It's-
You had to set it down to leave.
Yeah.
It's in your hands. Like, just hold on.
Sorry,
to
this
it
is so
for
difficult.
20 more steps
Yeah.
when there's like 4 trash cans by the exit.
We need more people like you in charge. Hey,
I don't
pick
know.
up that
I
trash.
don't agree with that.
Yeah.
I don't agree with that. I think if I was in charge, a lot of stupid stuff would get done,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of important stuff would not get done, and people would be really upset with me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But there'd be clean movie theaters.
but our movie theaters would be clean,
Yeah.
and school lunches would be tasty. Kids would be fat.
Yeah.
We'd be We'd really be
we'd get back to
making
our roots.
America again.
yeah.
You know what I mean? We're going back to George W. Bush's America. Everybody was fat. We get the super size me big gulps. You
The
know?
big gulp, the mega slurp,
Yeah. You see
the jumbo chug.
You see those. You see those like 400-pound women in Muncie still with their like massive jug from like 2002
Yep.
from the gas station where it's like cannot believe you sell that. If you go to another country, a small is like this
Yeah.
big. A large is smaller than our smalls. It's like, what does that say?
What- yeah.
And ours is like, you can go to the gas station and spend like 67 cents, any size,
Get a gallon of
any
soda.
size drink you want. So you're telling me that like there's no cost difference? I can get triple the amount of liquid in this cup as I can for this cup, and it's still 67
Yeah.
cents. Like
It's messed up.
raising the price of that.
Yeah,
Let's
for
lower
real.
the price of like
This is another decree
insulin
of
or
Eric's.
something.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. I don't know anything about politics, so I
Yeah.
can't even like
But Coke prices piss
go
me
off.
off.
Yeah, Coke prices are too low. God damn it. We need to raise the prices of those. Yeah, I don't even know. I'm over it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boycott soda is
Boycott soda.
is
Yeah, just
the-
drink water. Let's get clean water.
Yeah.
You know, what's going on in Flint? I don't think that they have clean water still.
Dang.
And that, I'm pretty sure 4 years ago is when this all happened.
Jeez.
So
I
it's
I thought Jaden Smith was involved with
He donated
some part
a
of
bunch
that.
of money
Yeah.
or like water or so he
Yeah.
did some philanthropic thing there. Really quick, we're close to the end. Are there any movies that you are excited about that are coming out?
I mean, there's Joker.
You are really,
Joker,
are you not watching any of the trailers? for
No,
it?
I'm not.
So
Not
you're
watching
just
trailers.
You're just
I saw it too, like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And a trailer for Joker came on, and I covered my ears and I turned into my
Why?
seat, so I didn't want to see it.
What? It's not going to give anything away.
Did you see? That's what you think. That's what they want you to think.
That is what I think.
They
and I'm sticking to it.
I don't remember what film festival it premiered at, but Joaquin Phoenix got an 8-minute standing ovation.
Yeah, I heard
8
about
minutes
that. Yeah,
of clapping.
I want to see it. He's a fantastic actor.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really want to see it. And I think I want to see it so bad because I love Batman. Ever since I was like 4, I've loved Batman.
Mm-hmm.
And like I'm excited for somebody to take on Joker that isn't Heath Ledger and like do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like Heath Ledger's Joker will always like
Yeah.
be legendary.
Iconic, yeah.
But there's a certain point where you have to like move past it, I guess. You
Yeah.
can't let him
Hold the spot.
Right.
Yeah.
And like with Suicide Squad and stuff like that, there was a lot of drama with that.
Yeah.
And was that Jared Leto?
That was Jared Leto, yeah.
Like he was really upset with that movie because of how much like he put into the role and how much they cut out of him. They said that there was like a movie's worth of footage of him that was not in the movie. Yeah. And so
He got a little wonky for it.
yeah.
Read some
and
things.
So it's like, you know, maybe he could have had a shot or whatever. But I'm excited for this.
Yeah.
And it's not a Disney.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, it's not even really a superhero movie. It's just like a character piece about a superhero character.
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
what
yeah.
I mean? Like,
Which is how it should.
yeah, which is cool. You
Yeah.
know, especially for like DC and Batman. You know what I mean? Because that's their whole vibe.
Yeah.
It's like, yes, they're doing it. You know.
You go.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I'm really excited for that. When does that come out? Do you know?
Nope.
Because you haven't seen.
No, I
any
haven't seen trailers. Yeah.
So
I
how in the hell would
straight
you
from
know
advertising.
anything about it? Well,
I'm
they
on
all die in the
newspapers.
end.
Yeah.
I'll tell you
okay.
that. So this is the only I've searched like 3 YouTube videos, and this is the only one that I put up here, and so that's the only reason why we're talking about it because I spent the time to do this.
Oh,
I
yeah,
wanna see
shoot.
this. It's called The Lighthouse.
What made your last keeper leave?
He believed that there was some enchantment in the light.
Have you seen that?
I've not.
It's a horror
Went
movie.
mad, he did.
That's why.
Tall tales. What?
It's like Willem Dafoe and Robert Pattinson.
Yeah. Okay.
What?
What?
Watch.
What?
Just the way this is filmed
Yeah.
is awesome.
What?
What? What? What? What? What? What? What? What? What? What? What? What? What?
Daddy! Let Neptune strike ye dead, Winslow!
Oh my gosh.
Wow, it's so sad.
All right, have it your way.
All right, I'm in.
Yeah, you should watch the first one. Cancel. Stupid YouTube. YouTube sucks, by the way. We can talk about that on another episode.
Yeah.
Next episode, we should just shit on YouTube.
I'd be up for talking
Um,
about YouTube.
Huh?
I'd be up for talking about. I have some.
Yeah.
I have actually more knowledge than I think I do about YouTube.
We can talk about like media.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's a lot of stuff going on. But you should watch the trailer for the first one as well.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's filmed kind of, you know how what's the Life Aquatic?
Wes Anderson.
Yeah, Wes
Yeah.
Anderson. You know how it kind of has like a dark Wes Anderson vibe.
Yeah,
to it.
yeah.
But it's just these 2 guys going mad in a lighthouse, and it just like
Yeah.
what? And I'm an A24 fanboy,
A24 is
Because-
the stuff.
but and it's all just like film porn. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? It's just like, oh, that shot was so awesome. You know, like. So yeah, that's all I got.
Cool. Maybe YouTube next week
Yeah, we might talk about YouTube next week. So I got a bone to pick
with Google.
with Google.
All of Google. Man, we're taking on Disney and
Yeah,
Google
let's take out the Verizon's
big
next,
boys.
baby. Yeah.
Cool.
All right.
Peace
well,
out.
Peace out. we don't have an outro prepared
Ah,
still,
crap.
so we're gonna.
I thought that was the natural pause.
We're gonna do outro music. We'll end that sometime.
That's perfect. Yeah.
Yeah.